I'll take over the next part, Sonic. As Bunny had told Sonic at the lake, I'd been with Uncle Chuck for much of the night. Along with Nicole, my trusted artificially intelligent computer, we were brainstorming a plan, one which we hoped would resolve a number of our lingering problems.
Wow, this is an incredible invention, Sir Charles. Are you sure this will achieve the desired results?
I'm certain, Hedgehog Proximity Detective.
Why did you lock my door?
I could sense Sonic coming.
Oh. That hurt my poor hedgehog head, Unc. That was way past uncool.
I have a sensitive piece of equipment here, Sonny. I didn't want to risk you breaking it.
Moi? Break something? Oh, ye of little faith. Speaking of lack of faith, what have you been doing, Sal? You missed our big number.
What? Oh my gosh. I'm sorry, Sonic. I didn't realize it was that late. Your uncle and I have just been discussing strategy.
Strategy? For what?
Our next move to take control of Mobius back.
What? Oh, come on, Sal. We've already scored such a major victory. Can't we just take some time to enjoy the fruits of our labors?
While we may have driven Robotnik away, we still have a pretty major problem.
Huh?
Namely, the majority of all Mobians still roboticized, and the thousands of robots occupying the planet.
Okay, fair point. So, when and where is our next move going to take place?
No time like the present, Sonic. We're moving out tomorrow to Robotropolis.
Got it. Should I tell the others?
Yes, definitely. We'll need all hands on deck for this one. Tell them to meet here at noon tomorrow. We'll lay out the game plan and then move out.
Yeah, whatever.
Wait. Sonic, wait a moment.
Huh?
I know this is frustrating, especially after all we've been through, but I promise you moving out now is critical. We can have some downtime after this mission. Trust me.
I'll hold you to that, Sal. Promise to do our song with me and you've got a deal.
I will, I promise.
Way past cool.
What?
I know I used to joke about it when you two were younger, but in all honesty, you really do make a cute couple.
Yeah. You know, in hindsight, it always seemed inevitable that we'd end up together. Even when we were kids, we spent pretty much all of our time together, even before Robotnik showed up.
So you really do love him?
Well, I've given this a lot of thought over the years. I remember how he would often annoy me with his cocky attitude and how angry I would get when he took risks. And yet, I now realize that his attitude helped to keep the freedom fighters' spirits up in the darkest of times. And more often than not, those risks would result in things working out for the better. I used to always hate to admit this, but we would have never gotten this far without him, and we all owe him an unpayable debt for it. So, yeah, I think I do love him. Because I've never known such a self-sacrificing person in my life. Aside from my father, of course.
I know what you're thinking, Princess, and I assure you, we will find a way to bring King Acorn from the Void Robotnik imprisonment in, but your father always put the sanctity of his kingdom and his people over himself. He would want you to do the same, to put your kingdom before your desires.
I know he would. And, truth be told, I'm actually kind of dreading the prospect of him coming back. Do you think he would approve of my relationship with Sonic?
Of course he would, Princess. Need I remind you that your father saw Sonic's veiler for himself when you two tried to rescue him some months ago. Plus, look at all you two have accomplished together. Hell, if he didn't approve of you, he'd have to answer to me, king or no. Besides, King Acorn and I have been friends for a long time. I know him, and he in turn, I'm sure, will trust anything I said.
Thanks, Sir Charles. I really needed to hear that.
You're welcome, my princess. However, if I may, you don't have to keep calling me Sir Charles. Uncle Chuck is just fine.
Alright. Only if you in turn dispense with formalities and start calling me Sally. After all, as I always said, here in the Great Forest, titles are meaningless. The only royalty here is Mother Nature.
Touché! You've got a deal. Sally. Besides, before too long, I might someday be your real Uncle Chuck.
Wait, that's not. We're not gonna. That is to say,
Calm down, Sally. I was just messing with you.
I'll start preparing for the wedding, Sally.
Huh? Oh, don't you start on this too, Nicole, or I'll rewire your motherboard.
That's way past uncool, Sally.
Have you been talking to Sonic again?
Who? Moi? I'd never.
Yep, you have. Okay, time to reboot.
Wait. Okay, I'll stop. I promise.
Good. Well, I think we figured out our game plan for tomorrow. See you later, Uncle Chuck.
Of course, Sally. Try to get some rest. We've got a long day ahead of us. First, though, I know you don't like being called princess, but I hope you won't begrudge me kissing the hand of a good friend.
Not at all, Uncle Chuck.
Mwah.
The next morning, all of the freedom fighters gathered in my house to plan our next move.
All right, now that everyone's here and settled down, let's get down to business. As you all know, approximately 2 days ago, Sonic and I halted Dr. Robotnik's deadliest scheme yet, the Doomsday Project. This is the greatest blow we've yet to deal to Robotnik, something that is truly worth celebrating.
Any idea where Robotnik is now, Sal?
Well, I haven't a clue. As far as we can tell, he seems to have vanished off the face of Mobius.
What do you mean by that, Sally girl?
Well, I'll put it this way. Every single time we've defeated one of Robotnik's schemes that was outside of Robotropolis, he's always retreated back to the city. However, this time that doesn't appear to be the case. Our spies report that no vehicles have entered or left Robotropolis in the last 48 hours. In addition, I've been in close contact with Lupe's Wolfpack and all the other freedom fighter groups around Mobius. None of them have reported any increased swap-out activities anywhere. So if Robotnik is working on another secret project, he's been very quiet about it.
What if he just left the planet altogether?
It's possible, but we have no hard evidence to support that. As of right now, here are the stone-cold facts. Robotnik is not in Robotropolis and has seemingly disappeared. Regardless of how it happened, Robotropolis is now completely unmanned, which gives us the perfect opportunity to strike at the heart of Robotnik's empire.
True, but did you forget that there are still thousands of SWAT bots guarding the place? I'd hardly call that unmanned.
Wait, the SWAT bots, they are still active without Robotnik?
Sadly, yes, Antoine. If no commands are relayed to them, the SWAT bots can run indefinitely on self-sustaining power. In this state, they default to their prime objectives: kill Sonic on sight and take all other organics to be roboticized.
Sounds to me like it would be suicide to enter the city now, even if Robotnik has flown the coop.
How is that any different than all the other times we've gone into the city to sabotage something or to raid for supplies?
Sonic is right, and in fact, this operation has both of those goals in mind. The bottom line is if we strike now while the iron is hot, we will be one step closer to liberating Mobius completely.
So, what exactly are we going to do, Sal?
Well, as many of you know, one of our long-term goals has always been to create a device which reverses the effects of roboticization and restores transformed Mobians, or Robians, to flesh and blood.
That's it? We're raiding more parts for the de-robotizer? What makes you think it'll actually work this time?
Because this time we have two things we didn't have before. Nicole, show them the blueprint.
Displaying, Sally.
Several months ago, Sonic and I traveled back in time in an attempt to stop Robotnik before he took over. Though we failed, I did download the blueprints for Robotnik's modified roboticizer into Nicole. It's taken her a long time to decrypt the files, but she finally finished a few days ago. This is our first advantage. The second is Uncle Chuck.
I created the original medical roboticizer, so I know more about how they work than anyone besides Robotnik. Robotnik radically altered the design, but the basic framework is still my own. So, with my knowledge combined with Robotnik's blueprints, we've reverse-engineered the roboticizer and are certain of the materials we need to create a counter to its effects.
Wow, this is quite the laundry list. So, we're going into Robotropolis to steal this stuff?
Precisely, Rotor. And once we get it properly working, we can begin the process of de-roboticizing everyone on the planet.
Aunt Sally, Assuming Robotnik comes back, what's stopping him from roboticizing everyone again?
That brings us to the sabotage part of the plan, Tails. As I said before, there's still enough of my old roboticizer's technology and Robotnik's design to make a difference. So I created this in my spare time while I was spying on him for all of you. It's a virus specifically keyed to target the vital components of the roboticizer.
So it will shut down the roboticizers in Robotropolis?
Not just in Robotropolis, Rhoda. If I did my math right, once this baby is loaded into the main computer module, it will spread through Robotnik's cyberwall like, well, a virus, and permanently cripple all roboticizers on the planet.
Are you kidding me? That's awesome!
So, freedom fighters, that's the plan. I'm not going to lie to you, this may be among our most dangerous missions yet. However, if we pull this off, we'll be able to not only liberate Mobius' entire population and ensure that no one will be made into a robot slave ever again, but we'll also have a real chance of taking back the planet. Still, if anyone wants to sit this one out, now's the time to say it. No one will think any less of you if you do.
You've led us well this far, Sally girl, and I have complete faith in you.
Oui, I'm not ashamed to admit I'm afraid, but I won't let that stop me.
Our friends and families have suffered for too long under Robotnik's control.
You can count on me. I'll do everything I can to help.
I think we're all in agreement, Sal.
Great. Okay, for this mission, we'll split into 2 teams. Tails, Rotor, you're both our mechanical experts. You will spearhead the team raiding for de-roboticizer parts. Take Sonic with you too, in case the SWAT bots find you.
Oh, that reminds me. The next power ring is due in just a few minutes. Be right back, guys. Time to juice.
Why must he not be careful, creating fires in wooden spaces?
The other team will be me, Uncle Chuck, and Bunny. We're going to break into Robotnik's inner sanctum and plant that virus.
Oh, wait, what will I be with doing?
You'll guard our escape route. Unless, of course, you want to join one of the other teams, which I'm sure we could arrange.
Yeah, why don't you join Sonic's group, Antoine? I'm sure your 2 lessons of martial arts will come in handy.
No. I am not thinking I am right quite yet, yes? I will guard the excavate route.
Got the ring.
Good. Now, we all know our roles, so without further ado...
Let's do it to it!